Hi, Juma. Welcome to the Wellness Junction podcast.
Hi, Jordana. It's so nice to be here. I'm so happy. Yeah, let's get started.
Thank you so much for saying yes. When I'm inviting guests to come and speak on the podcast, sometimes people will be like, I don't know, maybe you, when I invited you, you're just like, oh my goodness, yes, let's do this. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, considering it's my first time doing this, so I was like, let's go. Yeah, let's do it. I'm so happy, and yeah, I feel like I'm at a point where I really want to share what it is I have to share to anyone who is willing and interested in, listening to me. Yeah, thank you.
Sawa. And so during this series is called Quarter Life Chronicles. We are mostly talking about transitions during the quarter life season of our lives, which is essentially like our young adulthood.
Yeah.
But we don't land in young adulthood. We usually have started way before. So I just want to hear about your experiences, some of the transitions that you have been on, what life has looked like for you, some of the things that you feel like you have navigated well, what are some of the maybe mistakes that you have made that other people can learn from, something like that. Yeah. So just to start off, how are you doing recently? Like, how is life for you currently?
Yeah, currently my life is moving at a very fast pace, faster than I had anticipated. Yeah. Yes, faster than I anticipated. And I genuinely feel like I'm in a season where I am making so many transitions and I'm growing in so many ways. I view this as a growth spurt. Really, I'm forced to grow and I'm forced to find my true self or to really reach my full potential. I'm really in that stage, so some things are happening faster than usual because it's like telling me you have to grow quickly. So I'm trying to adjust, and yes, sometimes it's tough, but yeah, I just get a hang of it as I continue. I'm a fourth year student at Kenya Methodist University. Yeah, and I'm pursuing pharmacy. Yes, this is something I really love. It's something I want to pursue. And right now, I am in a phase where I'm exposed to how the pharmaceutical industry is like out there. And just by saying that, there's that interest because it's just a month after I've been on attachment. So, yeah, I began in January. So right now, I feel like I'm more open-minded. And now there's that sense of purpose that, yes, at least I get to see what it is I anticipated to become. So there's a lot of, this is actually what I wanted. This is it. Yeah, so I'm in that phase in my life. Yeah, aside from that, I'm also actively running a business called Mitindo Crafts, where I design different apparel, particularly t-shirts. But aside from that, I am also a crochet artist, me and designing anything to do with crochet. Yeah, that's my forte. That's what I genuinely love to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ulitoana wapi na kukrochet?
Credit. Let me give credit to
please.
whomever it's due. Yeah, Mom was very active in teaching her children how to crochet.
No kidding.
So, yeah. So for me, my seasoned bro, tulikalishwa chini, and he was like, you guys, you can try this out just as a hobby and whatnot. But I think for me, I just decided to take it a notch higher and just explore it further. Yeah, it began as a hobby, but I realized, I can monetize this, and it's something related to what I love, which is fashion. So why not create a fashion platform that is related to crochet, something I can actively do. Yeah.
So it all started with Mom.
Yeah, it all started. Let's give Mom credit. Yeah, for that.
Nice.
Yes.
So like crochet, how come crochet specifically what she decided to teach you? Is it something that she was already interested in herself? How did that come about?
The funny thing is that, my mom would crochet and knit sweaters and whatnot, especially when we were kids. And honestly, as a kid, I wasn't really interested, but the idea of creating something out of nothing, creating something out of yarn or anything, I think that just amazed me. And I really wanted to learn this specific skill because I was like, you can actually have a ball of yarn and this ball can turn into probably a scarf and this. So the whole idea of creation is what inspired me to begin learning how to crochet. And the more I learned how to do it, the more I wanted to learn even more. And not to say that crochet was the only thing mom taught. Both my mom and dad were very active in equipping us with different skills, things we can, both soft and hard skills, things we can just do to bring a coin or two, or just to add to your value. They are big on value. So anything that you can learn, now my sister and my bro, anything that we could do to add value and meaning to our lives, I'd say they were very active in inculcating that into their children. Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, that's really amazing. Teaching you hand skills.
Yeah.
Technical skills, like things that you can do with your hands. Yeah, I can imagine. So then how did you decide to turn it into a business? Like at what point did you decide, this has been a hobby, maybe I can make money from it?
The moment you're told, what are you going to eat tonight? Or sometimes you really want to ask for some pocket money and you're not told outright, but you're like, siku ingine, or... Yeah, and that need to be independent. For the longest time, I've always wanted to be at a point where I'm independent and I'm in a position to create and to give. So being in a place of wanting to create something and adding value, both to myself and to someone else, I feel that really quickened me to learn this skill and to make a business out of it. Because I said, this is something that can add value to me monetarily. So I was like, why not?
I see. You and I know each other from both schools. We have both gone to KEMU, Kenya Methodist University, and we have also been like members of the same church for quite a while. And I just remember seeing you start off, ulikuwa unashon scarves. It was, I think at first it was like scarves, and then you just kept adding onto it. And it's for those of us who have been in your life for a while now, it's like we have seen Mitindo Crafts grow over time. Like, your journey imekuwaje? Especially now that you are a whole pharmacy student. You have how many units in a week? You have that. You have study groups, and then you have also been actively serving in church. When you say it's like a growth spurt and a lot of things are happening at once, I can understand that my own perspective, but also just thinking about the number of things that you are juggling like over time.
Yeah, I've seen it grow. Okay, I'd speak subjectively in terms of now the number of things I can design right now. Yeah. Because there's a time I was just doing scarves and whatnot, just simple stuff, nothing that's giving me too much pressure. Yeah. But as I continued, I just felt the need to design more apparel, especially clothes or outfits I could put on, because I'm heavy on branding and finding your identity, being able to identify yourself with something. So I really wanted to create a brand, a solid brand out of what I am doing. So yeah, what began as just crocheting bags and whatnot continued to now doing shirts and trying now to incorporate fabric into different kinds of fabric with crochet. Yeah, and I drew so much inspiration from my friends and other people who are major crochet artists. Yeah, the likes of Friennds. Yeah, that's what she's known for. So she is really good with Afrofused fashion. And so I thought, this gives crochet a very superior position. Yeah. It's regarded as a very... crochet is no longer that thing that grandmas used to do. Yeah, and honestly, when I began, I used to hear a lot of, you're changing shifts. That, you being a guy and you doing crochet already, it sets me at a certain level. Yeah, so I was like, I think I should explore that. And so, yeah, I simply, that's how I began, and I'm still growing. This just goes to show that the journey hasn't been really linear. Yeah, that times I begin and I take a good break. Especially there comes a time in the semester where you cannot afford.
Unajaribu kusave semester.
You're trying to save the year actually, because for us we actually do exams annually. So you have to seriously take time and prepare. So there are times I just give it a major pause. And so by the time I'm back, let's say in August, now I have to get back to the game
Yeah.
and try and figure out what have guys been doing and whatnot. But yeah, slowly I'm learning to now strike a balance between the business and now my school and studies and everything else that matters most. Because yeah, again, growth comes with learning how to balance all these segments, which are very important. Each segment, I feel like it's very important in its own way. And so I've slowly had to learn how to juggle all these balls. Because, yeah, really, that's the essence of life. Because you're not meant to just do one thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I see. Someone can think crochet in a pharmacy are like worlds
East and
apart,
West,
but yeah, for some reason they come together in
Yeah,
Mitindo Crafts and in you. I really appreciate that. I want to ask you something specific, and it is the colors that you, just for context for someone who might not already get it.
Yes.
You're currently doing a project. I don't know if it's a project or like something you're doing full time, but you're sewing crochet pieces onto t-shirts.
Yes.
I want to specifically ask you about the colors.
Yes.
I don't know if they were just because I have seen yellows and browns and greens.
Yes.
Those colors mean a lot. Oranges also involved.
Yes.
Those colors mean something very specific to me. So I'm very curious. What led you to these colors specifically?
Oh, I love fall colors, sunset colors.
Oh, okay.
Anytime. And it even goes to what I put on. I mostly gravitate towards sunset colors, mustard, yellow, brown, green, jungle green. I love those shades. And so it's very personal to me. So I find those colors are they go together very well. And so also there's also an African element to those colors because when you think about the yellow, it's very vibrant. The orange gives a very warm hue to it. The green to represent vegetation and whatnot. So the whole aspect, it's a very elegant combination, yet it's African. It already gives a story in itself. And that's why for most of the pieces I create, I tend to lean towards this fall colors or what would I say, earthy colors. There's a whole, it's colors based on inspiration from nature. So nature can't go wrong, definitely. And they look good.
They do, absolutely. I don't know if you noticed, but my rug in the living room is like almost the same colors. It's like the white, the green, and the brown. They are colors I really appreciate. There's something I have painted I have a canvas painted in my living room. It almost looks like a butterfly. The point was to paint a butterfly, but hey, it literally looks like a leaf of
that's
like a leaf of bangi.
That's why that's why you come in and you now give a story, the inspiration behind.
The story is the inspiration in it. I was just telling you guys, my art is with words. I can explain what I meant to paint.
You can articulate exactly what was
what I meant to paint. Like when the brush hits the canvas, the story is different. And I think for me, like brown usually just signifies like the rootedness because of it's the ground we walk on. I think for me, it always signifies like a sense of being rooted and being anchored. And even as we start talking about transitions, I find that it's something that means a lot to me because, as you have said, we are in this season of our lives where it feels like a growth, but a lot is changing in such a short time that if you don't have something that you feel like anchors you down, you can feel like you're just being moved around by waves. Left, back and forth, left, right, and center. And the green for me is, of course, signifying like the richness and the growth that and knowing that growth it's always around us, and we are almost always growing in one way or another, whether we realize it or not. The orange, just the sunset. The sunset, but I think for me it is more about like rest, but also renewal because it's both dawn and twilight, like when it's setting and when it's rising. So I think for me it's both rest and renewal.
It's a cycle.
I'm just curious to know, on this season we are talking about transitions, and ata umeanza tu na kusema vizuri, a lot is changing. Literally same.
Yo. Which year is this?
Just for context, if you're okay to share, how old are you currently?
Right now I'm turning 24. Yes. So 24 is a whole, just saying it out loud. It's something else.
You feel like that's a big age.
First of all, 24 is I need to be transiting from campus and all that.
Yeah.
24, I'm getting closer to 25. It's just a year to 25.
Yeah.
So already 25, it's a very significant year.
Yeah.
And again, I'm in my mid-20s. So I'm out of the early 20s and whatnot as my fellow counterparts. So already it just shapes how I need to start thinking and the decisions I'm making because, it just 24 tells me it's about time I grew and just explored different options and outdid myself in the different things I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, it comes with a lot of responsibility.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let me take you back.
Take us
let me
back to
take you
2021.
back. Not even 2021, like way back.
Oh, okay.
As a child, what was life like for you growing up? And at what point did you feel like you're now starting to be your own person, like to be an adult in air quotes? Because even me right now, I still don't feel like an adult.
No.
Sorry, adulthood. I'm still not there. But I think that we all experience, I want to assume all, that we all have like at point in our life, like a turning point where we feel like, I'm no longer just a child anymore. Now I have responsibilities, like I'm now moving. It feels a coming of sorts. You're now no longer a child. Decisions are made for you. You're just living your best life. You're now starting to feel, So paint for us a picture, like what was your childhood like? At what point did you feel like you're now starting to become a man?
Okay, let's go back to my childhood. So I really grew up in a loving family, I must say. I grew up in a family where everyone was heavily invested in the affairs of the other. And everyone was interested. My life wasn't just my own. Whatever it is I'm doing, it's affected by this and this. And just to give context, I come from a family of 3. So I'm the last born in a family of 3. And our age gaps are a bit wide. So literally, I get to enjoy the privilege of having older siblings.
Wow.
Yeah, so it comes with its pros and cons. But really, I must say, I genuinely enjoyed the love from both my parents and my siblings. And typically, there's this thing where lastborns are given first priority, or lastborns are termed as spoiled. Lastborns are viewed as this. They can't do anything for themselves. But
aren't you though?
Oh, am I?
Like lastborns in general.
No, I'm here to fight for the rights of lastborns.
Okay, fight away.
Yeah, lastborns actually can do stuff for themselves. They can be very good at what they do. Anyway, we didn't choose to be lastborns. So anyway, so that was it. I grew up in a very loving family. And so growing up, I was personally never made to feel like I can't do anything on my own. Because in as much as I was the last born in my family, I always felt like I had a voice and I'd chip in one way or another, depending on my circumstances at the time. I always wanted to feel like an adult because when I was around 10, 11, my siblings were in their late teens or early 20s. So I always wanted to be part of the table and to catch up and to try and reach where they were and to be involved in major decisions. So I never really felt that feeling of being made to feel like you're the last born, you're the child here, you have nothing to say. And so I appreciated that, and I think that has really shaped who I am today. Because personally, I never feel like I'm a last born, really, if you are to define it as this spoiled kid who doesn't know what to do with their lives. But I view myself as one who really benefited from different members of my family. And I began doing stuff, or rather this whole creation journey began I think when I was around 12, 13. That's when I really wanted to try and figure myself out, trying to think, okay, what is it I'm good at? What do I really love? So I'd say my teenage life was a season where I was trying to just define what I liked, what I did not like, what I'd want to do, what I'd definitely not want to do. And I feel like I'm still in that season where I'm trying to identify what I really love and what I really detest. I'd say that was it in my childhood, and how it has affected me now, or rather when I began feeling that sense of responsibility. For me, it came when I turned 20, because that was around 2021, and 2021 was when I now traveled coming here to Meru, being born in Eldoret. So 2021 was like a major season in my life where I was now moving out of Eldoret, going to explore a totally different town in Meru. I remember you speaking about that as well. So it's that moving out of home and being in a new place, trying to figure out what you eat, trying to figure out where you stay, how you sleep, how you'll get your different supplies. For me, I loved that. Actually, I looked forward to it because I was like, finally I can now do things on my own. I've always wanted to be independent. It's really something that I've always wanted to be, and to be independent in the sense that now I'm able to offer help, not just to receive help, but also to offer help, because I truly find joy in being able to provide, or rather to be of help. I draw some sense of purpose to that. So whenever I find myself in a position where I can give, it could be financially or it could be my time, but when I'm in a position to provide and to lead, I just grab those moments, because I never really got to experience that when I was a kid, because being the last born, who are you leading? Who are you leading? So I think that has shaped how I've done stuff, how I've conducted my business, how I've just planned whatever I want to do. That sense of independence and being in control, it's something I hold on dearly to, and really I associate my manhood to that, among other things. But that sense of independence, it's something I really hold dear.
I see.
Yeah.
You've made me realize a lot, especially about younger siblings' experience. Let me not say last born necessarily, but I think from hearing from you, I'm realizing when you're maybe the younger sibling, you usually don't have much say in how things are happening around you. A lot of things are happening to you. You're told what to do, where to go, who to be. So I can definitely see how now, for you taking up responsibility for yourself and wanting to be independent, that was a turning point for you.
Again, as an obedient child, you're told to do this, you just do it. There's a point where you want to ask yourself, okay, yes, I'm told to do this because it's right, but you want to reach a point where you want to ask yourself, yes, I want to make this decision, but why am I making? I need to figure that out. I need to figure out the why. There's a sense of I want to figure it out myself. I know it's true, but I want to know why it's true.
Yeah, for sure. That is so significant, and I think it is something that we might not give a lot of thought to, but it's very significant, because for me, I think that is what now growing up has felt like. It's not necessarily the independence, as in I stay away, I decide for myself what to eat, but major life decisions, for example, even not necessarily major life decisions, but just life decisions that have to do with me. Like in the episode where I shared my personal experience, for me, that was really the turning point where I realized, it's like my life is happening to me and around me, but it's like I'm not a contributor to. It's like my life is happening behind closed doors. I'm not even part of that room, and I'm not part of the table where the decisions of my life are being made. You go to school here, you took my eyes also. I can really relate with that sort of change where now you feel like you want your voice to be heard. It's no longer just, sasa Juma unarudi home when? Sisi tunataka ukuje next week on Thursday.
You want to tell them I'll come on this day.
You're like, pana mimi sitakuja hii holiday, nitakuja next holiday, tutaonana hiyo time.
Any opportunity to make your own decision.
You grab it. I really do get that. So tell us more a bit about your now grown up in air quotes. You moved from Eldoret, where you're within family, of course loving family, as you've said. You are now in a place where you literally know nobody, and Sasa, that is where the growth starts. You now have to how to figure out you need to get to class on time. You're gonna eat. A question of the lifetime. Just and now for you added on that, you are running a business. Tell us a bit more about what that experience has looked like in terms of just like general decision making. How you are navigating like this period in campus where now you are growing up. You are exposed to a lot more. You're no longer shielded by elder siblings or parents.
So this season of growing up, just my grown-up era, I don't know what to call it, but it has really made me very disciplined with my life, considering that aside from my major responsibilities as a student or as a business owner, I'm other things. I'm in a friend group. I'm a leader somewhere. I look at it as all these aspects or all these facets of me are very important, and I need to be all that, and I need to balance all that. So growing up has taught me how to all this, to just find a way of balancing, because initially when I joined on first year, second year, I think I had this perception of I need to choose one and leave one.
I see.
And I don't know, I feel like part of it came from probably education system, because you're told you either do this. If you decide to do this, you're not going to do any other thing. Your life is almost defined by that one thing that you choose to do. And I knew for sure that that wouldn't be me, because I felt I really wanted to have a platform or being in a position where I can get to do everything that is part of me or is part of who I am. So for me, growing up looks like I am able to be a pharmacist and be a fashion designer at the same time. I am able to lead somewhere or lead a group and still pursue music. I can be a researcher in this and yet handle orders. I've always seen myself as this person who would do everything. You know, this question you used to be asked as kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then the way it's asked, you're conditioned to give one answer.
I have never thought about it that way.
You're like, give me more options. I wanna be 3 things. These days I meet kids and they tell me, I wanna be a doctor and an athlete at the same time. They have all these interesting dreams, and I wish we also had that as kids when we are growing up, that freedom to make all these different decisions.
Oh my goodness.
And for me, growing up looks like, yes, I am able to make these decisions that are very dear to me and that are very important to me, and being in a position where I'm able to do all those things at the same time. And that explains why I'd be in class studying. But then after class, I'm quickly working on some orders. After that, I'm heavily involved maybe in church, in music and whatnot. And so I find purpose. I find purpose in being able to do all these things. And the moment I'm able to balance that and succeed in all of them, I'm like, yes, this is it. This is growing up. Now I feel grown up because yes, I can handle all these things and I'm still okay and life is moving on. And 2021 through 2025 has been seasons of just me getting to learn how to balance. And there are times when some things fell off balance. Just to say, there are times maybe I'd focus so much on school and this other side isn't doing as well. And there are always people just keeping me accountable. They're like, Juma, you like, where are you? You're no longer, the scars, or there's this expo coming up, or there's this, what do they call it? Basically the expo is coming up. Where are you? We heard of you once, but you're no longer there. It's just succeeding in one part and not succeeding in the other. It left me feeling some type of way. And it has made me realize that one cannot do without the other. And I'm fully aware that there'll come a time later on I'll have to balance that amidst family, amidst other businesses, amidst relationships, amidst work. And so one thing I'm teaching myself is that life it's almost like a compilation of all this. And to me, being able to balance all that is like the most grown-up thing one can ever do. Probably it will change later, but as of now,
That's what it means to you.
that's what it means to me.
Listen, if adulthood was a company, I think you would be like its marketer. You'd be like,
Because I
guys,
speak-
adulting I can recommend.
You can recommend. It's not the popular. That's my take.
My take is almost the same. In as much as adulting kicks my ass, every now and then, I wouldn't choose childhood, just specifically because of my experiences in childhood. I wouldn't choose being a child over what for me it means like being adult. I think the autonomy for me, I'm just like, no thanks. Yeah, I prefer my life as an adult than my life as a
As a
child.
kid.
Yeah.
And one more thing, I think also, just as we talk about balancing, also, I came to learn that in as much as I really wanted to feel grown up, it also has its cons or its challenges, because sometimes you end up missing out on the seasons that you're in. So personally, being a kid, I felt like I really wanted to grow up. And right now in my age, I'm like, there's some things I think I did not do when I was a kid. So I really want to go back. If I had the time to just go back. In as much as I enjoy being independent, I'm also learning that it's important to enjoy every season that you're in, such that if right now, if I'm 24, I should just enjoy 24 in all its aspects, or 25 or 18 or 5 years old. Imagine a 5-year-old wanting to be a 10-year-old. There's a lot of imbalance to that. So I thought that was really important, because it's something that I felt, it's something that has affected me some type of way, and I feel like it's something I wish I knew, but at least I know now, so it counts.
And that's very profound, because we are almost always rushing from one to the next season when we are still in the one. When you're in primary school, you can't wait to be done with primary school to go to high school. But when you get to high school, you're just like, oh my goodness, I miss my so primary life.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, so it's like we want the past experience, like the most recent best experience, or we want what we think is good about what's coming ahead. So then, but also when you're going through high school, you're like, okay, I want to be done to get to campus, because what is this? And then you get to campus, you're just like, okay, I miss my high school days, maybe for some people. But then also you're like in campus, you're like, I can't wait to be done to get into the job market, to get out there, as we say. And then you start working, and then you're like, I can't wait to, I don't know, get married. And then you get married. I can't wait to have kids.
So you can't wait.
We always can't wait for the season that's coming up ahead. And I think what you're reminding us is life is seasonal, and it is on us to make the most of the season that we are currently in. I think I'm still just awed by what you have said about when we ask kids around us, or even when we ask ourselves, what do you want to be when you're grown up? Do you know, I've never thought, we always expect one answer. We always expect one answer. And I think with that, our mindsets are formed to think that you ought to be one thing. You ought to be one thing. Even when we know that we will have like other things that we will want to be, but it's always, for example, I want to be a software engineer, and like I will do other things on the side. So those other things might be made to look as though they are smaller in how they impact your life. But I think what you've made me realize is actually it is like the multifacetedness of life is what adds meaning to it, because in as much as software engineering or software development used to give me like a lot of, I used to imagine it would be something I would be interested in. But even then, I still can't imagine myself sitting on a desk all like throughout the day, or maybe not even all my life, but like for that extended period of time doing that one thing. So you can do this one thing, have other things that you're interested in as well, but we better know you as this one thing.
This one thing,
so kama wewe ni pharmacist, wewe ni pharmacist, and we get a little surprise. Hiya, you're a pharmacist and you also do crochet. That's very interesting. But sometimes it can also get to a point where we're just like, you're wasting time with these other things, not focus on this one thing. And yet for you, as you say, hiya, it's these other things add to the richness of my life. And I really like that, I really like that way of viewing life.
More people should view life that way, honestly.
We should.
You're never just one thing. We are complex. We are complex beings.
Human beings. And you know what happens with that way of thinking is people who have multiple talents can always feel like the outsider, or they can feel some type of way. Like we have a common friend called Daisy. Daisy is as multi-talented as they come. She can sing, she can make macrame, she's a gardener,
what can she do?
what can't Daisy do?
Yeah.
Daisy can do a lot of things, and sometimes you have conversations where she's just, I feel like there's so much I can do. And when you feel like society expects one thing out of it, having so many things that you feel you're talented in, you can feel the pressure to either make them feel significant, where it's, if you have let's say if you're a singer, better make some music that you can listen to. And yet for you, maybe it can just be singing for you is just an outlet.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even want to make anything out of it.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing gardening, it's panda vitu zenye watu wanaweza tumia. It's like it has to convert into some monetary value, and yet it doesn't have to be. But even if you choose to be, if you choose to have it that way, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, I feel again these people who are really talented, including my bro. Bro, actually, he can do so many things. But then now when it narrows down to a particular course you're supposed to do, it's so difficult. It's so difficult because it's almost like you're being told, okay, leave the rest now, focus on one. And I understand the aspect of, you should do one thing and be good at it, but I'm not for the idea of just solely doing one thing and leaving the rest, because based on the economy, let's just talk about the economy, not any other reason. The economy will not allow us to just do one thing. And that is the least excuse we have. I don't know. That is just it. So already the world is shaping us in such a way that we have to exploit our full potential. We really have to almost outdo ourselves or what we think. And also one important thing I've also realized amid this trying to figure all these things out about myself is that sometimes we grow into different interests. Sometimes we think, I lean towards this and this, I cannot do this.
The other thing,
you get to a certain age, you realize, what was I thinking? If you asked me 10 years ago whether I'd be a pharmacist, I'd say no, never. Then after being exposed to different places and different organizations, you realize, this is something this is something I'm developing interest in, and this is something I can actually do. Who knows, probably I'll get to 30 and I realize, I didn't know I have an interest in, I don't know, maybe land or I don't know, or anything. Exactly. So our passions tend to change over time.
Yes.
They tend to change over time. And now, speaking from a Christian perspective, God created us with all these gifts. And the way He placed them, He placed them very strategically, such that when you get to probably 30 or 35, you'll discover something that you're really good at. And it will serve you within that season, 40 or 50. And limiting ourselves to only one thing, I find it as a very narrowed way of thinking. And really, again, change is inevitable. The fact that you can be one thing and tomorrow you can be another thing, that is the whole essence of life in itself.
Let's talk a bit more about change. One of the transitions that is happening in my life right now is my faith. Listen, usually right now I'm in between feeling very exhausted when it comes to my spiritual life, also feeling a little bit sad because my perspectives about God and my faith community and how I interact with my faith community have significantly changed in the past 5 years from what they used to be before. I feel like before it was always straight up. I feel like let's say to 2019 and back, it's I knew what I knew. I knew what I didn't know. I had certainty. I had a lot of certainty in what I knew God to be and what I knew my faith community to be, in how I wanted to contribute. But then 2022, just from 2022, I started feeling a lot of things are changing. I started having a lot of questions. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I find that my perspectives, how I used to think about how my faith is supposed to operate, it keeps changing. It keeps changing, and it keeps getting me off guard. I'm just like, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for my mind to change. I want to think the way I used to change, to think kitambo.
I had it all figured out earlier.
I had it figured out. It was working. Why are we destroying something that was working? I'm like, God, I'm able to Rudy. And I think that I feel like certainty has slipped through my fingers. I've come into a season where I have lots of questions that do not have answers. Questions that just linger, and I think I'm learning to live with the unanswered questions and like the uncertainty of things. I am creating room in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit for a more expansive set of views. I think for me, like growth right now looks like growing wide. It's not even like growing up per se. It's like growing wide.
Ooh, okay.
Where my mind is expanding to give room for more perspectives and more thoughts, and realizing that some like experiences are not always mutually exclusive. For example, I can be in a season where I have lots of questions for God, but also I feel very grateful to Him.
Yeah, and you find peace in that.
Yeah, and there's peace in that. It doesn't have to be one or the other where I am angry and I am questioning Him and my faith is on the side. It's just like, I'm here. I have a lot of questions. I am still in this. All that to say, what are some of the things that have significantly changed in the way you think or perceive things? Yeah, just talk to us about some of the ways in which your mind is changing and just your mindset, the way your mindset is changing in a few areas that you're willing to share with us.
Yes, there's so many things I can share, but let's go the faith direction because that's where we've begun. So I've just realized how much I do not know. I realized how much I do not know, or rather, I thought I knew, but lo and behold, I do not. And particularly, especially in my faith, because this season, again, 2025 has just come with so much. Now, just to give context, 2025, I was on attachment and I happened to go to Eldoret. And being in Eldoret, I found myself in a position where I had to again start everything because I've built a whole life here in Meru and now I'm going back to Eldoret. My peers are no longer in Eldoret and now I have to build a whole new community. And so I looked at it being January, I was like, ooh, I am up for this. I can do this. I really want to build again another community, or rather plug into another community. And so I happened to join this church called Calvary Chapel. And so having joined that whole community, they are very different because when I speak of how they conduct their services, they mostly do an exponential, I'm not so sure, but they tend to study the Bible chapter, verse to verse. They are very deliberate.
Methodical,
Yeah, and so I was like, why are we doing this? We know this already. But then it had to really bring me back to the basics. And so I literally had to read again, word for word. And so that alone, and also it just challenged me to think, okay, yes, I thought I knew this. Let me just read the Bible again and just clear my head and ask God to just reveal this to me. And that had been a very critical point in my life where I felt I needed to now start learning, and I felt like I was challenged to get to know the basics of Christianity, the basics of discipleship, the basics of all that, because I felt that probably I knew but I forgot, or I don't know, but it really gave me that ground to learn things afresh and to start afresh. And so just by that alone, I found myself, my mindset changed in a way. There's some things I could point out in the Bible which I thought they were okay. But then I realized, actually, it's not what I thought, or rather it's something I permitted which I thought was right, which ended up, the Bible is like, it's against this and this, or what I thought was right wasn't necessarily as per how I thought. I won't really go much into detail, but that alone really changed my mindset, and it made me willing to learn again, to just learn again. And right now, more than ever, I'm realizing it's better to say you do not know
Bas.
It's better to say you do not know than say, I know a little, but I don't know it too well.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because, again, I think this attachment period just taught me a lot.
Yeah.
We would go for this. I went to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for my attachment. And while we were there, I remember one of the consultants kept asking us different questions pertaining different medical conditions, what I should know about different drugs. And that feeling of you want to you don't know very well, but you want to share at least what you know. In that context, the consultant was like, no, if you do not know, you do not know. I think my colleagues can attest to that. If you do not know, it's either you know very well or you do not know at all.
You don't know.
And it's safer to say, I don't know. Please teach me. Please tell me so that I know it for sure and I know it very well. So right now, I'm quicker to say I don't know. I just don't. I may know a little, but I just don't know.
Like I don't know.
Tell me what you know.
Yeah.
And there's this thing of you're told you'd rather be the dumbest person in the room because you'll end up knowing the most.
Yeah.
And I feel like having that mindset, you end up receiving more because the worst thing that can happen would be maybe people bashing you because you do not know. But the most mature thing would be them telling you, do this and do this.
Yeah.
And so I'm just learning in this big age that I'm in to just get used to saying, I do not know or I do not know yet.
Yeah.
Yes, because I don't know in its statement, it shows it has an element of complacency and not wanting to know. But I feel like saying I do not know shows, first of all, it shows that you are honest and true to yourself, that you're not where you want to be. But I feel like the yet is giving room to the fact that yes, I am interested. There's a possibility that I can know what I do not know.
Yep.
And yes, I feel like I've digressed a bit.
No, you're right on. Right on,
Yeah. I feel like that my mindset has changed in that aspect, especially in this year. Yeah.
Being open to being curious. Indulging curiosity and saying, you know what, actually I don't have a well-formed answer around that. I can understand that. Another thing that I'm curious about is in like the family dynamic. How are you viewing family right now as compared to, like, how has your thought around family evolved? You have grown up.
Wow, I've come to appreciate my parents a lot. I've come to understand the reason why certain decisions were made when they needed to be made. I've come to also view parents as humans, trying to understand where they were and what shaped the decisions they made at the time. Because again, times are different. I've also come to appreciate my siblings a lot because of basically the transitions they're going through. And it has made me realize, particularly with my siblings, let me talk about my siblings just a bit. I've realized, I read this somewhere, that the bond or the relationship that we have with our siblings would probably be the longest relationship we'd ever have. Because when you think about it, if you have a sibling that's probably 2-3 years younger than you, you've known each other to this point. If you're 20, for instance, I'm 24. My bro is 5 years older than me. I've known him he's known me since he was 5. And probably, God willing, would live to our 80s, 90s. So these are people whom you'll interact with for the most part of your life. And so I've come to appreciate that a lot. And this has made me very intentional in just fostering that relationship between me and my sister, me and my brother, my sister and my brother. Because I realized that at some point, our parents will go. And so I feel like they're the ones who really would get me, and they're the ones who would stick longer. Because when you think about our friends, we've met some of our friends probably in our childhood, some in our adulthood, there's some whom we are yet to meet, but siblings are the constant. They're almost like the constant. They literally know you. They know you for your strengths, your weaknesses. They know you inside out. And so in terms of family, I've come to appreciate my siblings because I realize they're the ones who know me, and they're the ones whom I'm going to live with for the longest time.
For sure.
And for my parents, it's especially related to the decisions they made, especially in relation to their career. Sometimes I'd sit down with my dad and ask him, oh, how were your transitions in your 20s, in your 30s? How was the situation at home at the time? How's the economy? And he paints this whole picture of how difficult things were in this element, or how easier things were, because there's all that dynamic, and just makes me realize, oh, they probably made this decision because times were different. Probably the finances weren't there, or probably the opportunities weren't there, or there wasn't much information at the time as it is right now. And it has just made me give more grace to my family. And right now, while that is the case, I'm just coming to I'm just in a point of just appreciating them and telling them, you know what, I think I understand. I don't know why. I'm still not over this. It still pains me, but I understand where you come from. And I appreciate that about so I'm in that space, especially with my family. And also, it has also shaped my view of family, that family is not necessarily our parents and our siblings. Like every place that we go and every place where we are accepted, that becomes family.
Wow.
That becomes, it becomes home. Home away from home, literally. Wow. It doesn't look like the family at home that is staying together, sleeping together, but just be that space where you can just express yourself or be yourself. That space where people can get you or just hear you, or listen to you very keenly, and just understand you, just receive you. That is family in itself. So I feel like that's the whole essence of family. So no matter where we go, honestly, no matter where we go, because we are not limited to one place. Any place where you feel like family, where people receive you and embrace you and accept you for who you are, and also not even just accepting you, but also challenging you to really grow and really scold you a little bit to be better, because that's family when you think about it. It's not just all smooth, it's a balance of the two. So that's how I view family right now.
I'm shedding tears. It is so profound what you've said. Anywhere where I am accepted, that is home. Okay, I think I'm going to take a break and cry first.
Let's take a break. No pressure.
No, in all honesty though, the idea of home has always felt so strange for me, because growing up for the better part of my childhood, in some aspects, I didn't feel like I was accepted or appreciated, and I have always battled with that. And I think specifically the absence of my mom in my childhood, in the ways that I wanted her to be present, it has always left me with this hole in my heart, not really hole per se, but this longing to be accepted. The longing to feel like I am seen, I am valued, I am accepted. But I think the reason why that has really struck a chord with me is viewing the places in which I am accepted as being home. And now that I think about it, in as much as there were people around me who I didn't feel like accepted me, there were people that I know for sure did accept me, one of them being my grandma. And so it means I did have a home. So it has really it has changed like my entire, not really my entire, but like a huge aspect of my being, helping me to realize no matter where I have gone, I have always had a home, because significantly, the significant rooms in which I have walked, I have always had some level of acceptance. Not to the level that I wanted at some point, but I have never lacked a person in the rooms I have walked in who has accepted me and I felt like has seen me. I think for me, I don't know why I always put, not really pressure, but I have always wanted for more people to accept me. So even when there's like one or two people who have accepted me in the rooms I have walked in, I always feel like, oh, maybe the others don't like me, so maybe I don't matter. But then I'm just realizing, my goodness, I have always been home no matter where I have been, because I have acceptance. When I was young, there was my grandma, and even in high school, there's one friend that we really grew close with, and in university I had like people that really did accept me and love me for who I was. The faith communities that I have been part of, there was always someone. There was always someone, and I think it is even just changing how I view God, because an absence of human beings accepting you can always feel like also a rejection from God. You're just like, where are you in this room I have walked in? Where I just feel like nobody knows me, nobody sees me, but now I'm realizing there was always someone. There was always someone, and I have never been without acceptance, even from one person. This is why I like having a podcast, because like the conversations I'm having with you right now, it's like, if it was just like in the informal setting that we are in, you're at my house, we're just like chilling, we wouldn't get to the depth of some of these conversations. So I really just appreciate having guests on here, because like I get to learn so much from people when they speak with me. It's every guest who has come on. There's not a time when a guest has walked out when they haven't opened up my mind about something that I didn't know. And I like this learning journey.
Yeah, it's almost like therapy in itself, honestly. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it
agree.
It is.
Yeah, so sasa nani atatumia nani mwingine bill, ama we will bill each other.
Nambari ni moja.
Nambari ni moja.
Mtume namba. Tutatafuta till.
But really, just thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. If we don't say any word again on this podcast, I think I'll just like for my audience to remember that every place where I have walked, I have been, and I have been accepted. It was home away from home.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, as we get closer to finishing, do you feel like you're ready to finish?
Yo. It's like the others.
Vado. That's nice. That's nice.
We still have time. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious about identity, and the question I asked you about, like, what your thoughts around manhood. I feel very weird when I say manhood, because I'm used to saying womanhood.
You're like, huh?
Yeah, I'm used to saying womanhood, because I think I have these conversations more with my female friends than with my male friends. Do I even have male friends?
Well,
Yeah.
crickets.
Crickets. For real. Yeah. Just tell me, as a man, what do you guys think about? What is your experience like? I'm very curious.
Yes. So for me as a man, one primary thing that I associate manhood to, when I just hear man, I just hear leadership.
Leadership.
I just hear leadership. Yeah, being in a position where I'm able to lead clearly, lead soberly, being in a position to lead efficiently.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I view manhood, and that's almost like the standard that I've set for myself, that I should be in a position to lead whichever platform I find myself in. Right now, I'm leading my own life, first of all, the way I carry myself out as a man, the boldness, the confidence, the way I lead my body. And now it goes to how I'm leading later my family, the way I'd lead my future kids or my family in general. Leadership, let's say in my business, being in a position where I'm able to sit down and be active in making decisions or giving direction as per how things should go. Yeah. Because it's so bad to be in a state where we are all looking at each other and expecting someone to make the decision for the other. Yeah. Because being in such a state, everyone expects everyone to act. Yeah. Being able to stand as the man and decide that, yes, this is what we are, this is where we are going, this is the direction we are taking. And disclaimer, not in a way that shows that you're a dictator or anything, but rather from a point of, yes, I've listened to you, I'm listening to you, and now bringing all that together and reasoning with each one of those decisions objectively and logically, and now carving a direction based on all this feedback. I feel like being in a position to do that very clearly.
Yeah. If you were one of those like early life explorers, I think you would be like the trailblazer, like the pioneer. You'd be the one finding Mount Kenya. When you're Ludwig Craft. You're the Ludwig Craft and Dr. Livingstone.
Maybe I'm not meant for this generation. Who knows?
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing from you is you value clarity, and that you like when you come into a situation, you like to bring clarity into it and like draw a way that people can walk through. And I think I really value that. I think that's like really a valuable thing. We are going to have 3 sort of sub-conversations and then we can finish. The first one is like how your views about mental health, like just your views about mental health as you continue to grow, especially in an era where like conversations about mental health they're now very open. We still have a long way to go when it comes to understanding and accepting the fact that our mental health contributes very significantly to our general well-being. So can you maybe just share with us like your experience about like your mental health? How did you view it before? Did you grow up in a family where you, as a man, you were allowed to be expressive? have feelings, even if you have them, talk about them, express them. How was that received? And as you are growing, how is that changing as your life continues to change?
Okay, so for me, when I was a kid, I never really understood what mental health was. I just understood I'm feeling good, I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm sad. Basically, that was it.
Yeah.
I think, actually, let me draw reference from this animation, Inside Out. I don't know if you watched Inside Out.
Yeah.
So Inside Out is basically, as a kid, you're just happy. You know, that all these open emotions. Yeah, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm excited, and all that. And get to adulthood, you're like, I'm feeling nostalgic, I'm bitter, I'm jealous. All these.
They become a bit more complex.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit more complex. And how I regard mental health right now, I associate it so much with being in touch with how I am, how I'm feeling, what I'm feeling generally. Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? Because again, these feelings, they're almost like gauges. They tend to report to us what is going on.
Yeah.
And this is something that has often been dismissed by so many people, particularly men, because we tend to really brush over feelings. I'm like, why are you feeling what you're feeling? You stop feeling what you're feeling. Sometimes you find someone crying and you tell him, stop crying. Why are you crying? You're a man. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, that actually I have a problem with the fact that men are associated with not having feelings, almost to the point of being nonchalant. Yeah, that's not the case. I think for me personally, I view someone who is emotionally aware or emotionally intelligent to be someone who is able to have their feelings in check and control them and regulate them. Now I see manhood from that aspect, not being nonchalant and not being out of touch with emotions, but rather knowing how to manage them.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't believe in masking our emotions. Neither do I believe in letting our emotions govern how we do stuff, especially as men, because again, when we are in a position where we just cry and we do not seek help, also it shows some level of irresponsibility. So I believe, in as much as, yes, I'm feeling bad about this, I think it's very important to be in touch with our emotions, or rather it's important for me to be in touch with my emotions and ask myself, okay, this disturbs me. Why does it disturb me? How can I deal with this? How can I seek help where I need to seek help? And how can I manage this emotion in a better way when it comes again? Because again, these feelings tend to report to us.
Second last, let's talk a bit about friendships. How have you seen your interaction with your friends? Yeah, what is your experience as you are growing with friendship?
Yeah. Recently I've just learned. I was talking to a friend. He's called Nganga. We were just sharing, and we were talking about transitions and the way after campus we tend to detach from friends, and it just feels there's a feeling associated with that.
Yeah.
And I came to learn that we tend to really put an end to some friendships that we create simply because of physical limitations or proximities, which sometimes, in my opinion, I'm like, we're being too hard on ourselves. Because a friendship should not end simply because one went to Mombasa and the other went to Mbale or where you get. So there's something we were just talking, and what came to mind is that we are not really, those separations, they are not really, it's not really us letting go, but rather letting loose. Actually, I told him it's just about letting loose. Yeah, just letting loose a bit, because the friendship is still there. It's just the physical proximity that's compromised. Yeah. And so now that has made me realize that the friends that we create, first of all, it should be in a place where, it should come from a place where that our bond is tighter than where we are physically. That we are not just friends because we go to the same school or because we are in the same class. We are not just friends because we have the same interests.
What's the basis of your friendship?
What's the basis of our friendship? We are we are friends because we genuinely are each other's siblings. We are each other's brothers and sisters. We are heavily invested in each other's lives. And I feel like that's what really matters. And my friendships have grown in that sense because back then, while we were kids, the friends that I had while I was a kid, probably because we moved to a different location, those friendships sadly ended. But like if I knew this then, probably we would have found a way of catching up and just reconnecting. But yes, this aspect of letting loose is something that I've recently learned, and I am praying that it will actually happen even in the friendship circles that I'm in, that even in the season that has been designated for us to be physically around each other, that within that season, whatever it is, whatever bond that we create will be so permanent, such that even when we separate, that bond will still be there. And just being aware that everything is temporary and everything is seasonal,
things are seasonal,
that there'll come a time when we'll no longer be together. But this friendship thing can be permanent. We can make this a permanent thing. And yeah, it's not as easy as we'd say, but I think it's important because it gives us the freedom to explore friendships wider. Because now having a friend who has moved does not necessarily mean that I can no longer reconnect with this person. Especially if our bond was very integral, our bond was really strong. No matter where those people go, they still are a very big part of our lives. And so that has really taught me a lot about friendships, and now being very intentional and just trying to figure out, okay, this is my friend. Okay, why are we friends? What defines this friendship that we have?
Finally, romantic relationships.
Well, let's go.
How much time do we have?
Do we have time?
We have time. I want to hear about where your mind is at comes to romantic relationships. If you want to tell us whether you're dating or not, or married or not, you can tell us. What has romance looked like for you? Wait, have you dated before?
Yes, I have.
No, okay.
Yes,
I have. Are you currently dating? Or
right now, I've tried.
Anakupeleka corners.
Right now, we're still trying to find our way kidogo. We're trying to re-strategize. But I think I can talk best on this one relationship that I was in for some time. And so I think for me,
You're shocked?
You are shocked?
We are like, for a while? For a while? What meanest thou? What do you mean?
Let me make it clear. Let me make it very clear. Basically, I don't know. Initially, for me, relationships came from a place of, I think you need to start dating. I don't know. It was more of an external pressure. And also I'm like, oh, by the way, I like this girl. I don't know. I'm interested. And to me, it wasn't really premeditated. It was more of like a playful thing. We're just hanging out. We're having a good time. So again, I didn't have that pressure of dating for marriage. I don't know. Probably it would term me as very unserious at the time.
No. You're fine.
Exactly.
You're absolutely fine.
So it was just something to do because that's what I'm feeling. I'm not even thinking much about it. And so to say there was not really that so much pressure that I need to have everything figured out by, I don't know, 26, 27, I need to be married. By 30, I need to have my kids. I mean, for me, I also don't have really that kind of pressure. But one thing I know for sure that for me, I think I really desire to have a family. You get?
Yeah.
So it's something I know it's something that I know it's definitely in my plans. I really look forward to have a very beautiful wife and having kids, just the whole family dynamic. When I see a family that works, when I see a family that is not perfect but just works, that's just a real family, a family that goes through real stuff and they find a way of figuring out their problems and just moving as a family. I think I admire that. And so for me, it doesn't come from a point of pressure, but it just makes me aware that this is something I truly desire and this is something that I am actively seeking. It is definitely something in my plans. So I wouldn't say 100% be in a relationship or 100% be single. There's a balance because we are all different. are all very different. So for me, my personal take, for me, I'm really big on relationships.
Yes.
I'm
Actively searching, noted.
actively searching. Yeah, as of now.
Be like, guys, Juma is searching. Who wants to be found?
Yo, I don't know if it looks that way, but I don't know. Yo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's my general take.
Have you gone through heartbreak before?
Probably I'm in denial. Probably I think
You don't feel like you've been through heartbreak? Wow.
I think I need to.
How does it feel being God's favorite?
I don't know. Probably it's either I got over, because I keep asking myself, was it me who left? Did we all left, or who left the other, or who? So probably later I'll realize, oh, I'm the one who was left. I don't know. So that one is very open. So
You haven't experienced heartbreak before?
What you can say, I have never experienced heartbreak before. But probably I've never felt heartbreak, but probably I've been heartbroken before.
Oh,
but
honey,
I just
if
did
you
not
have experienced
discover
heartbreak,
you know for sure. So probably
if you are doubting whether you haven't, you.
Wait, I have to go back. I have to go back and find out.
No, not really going back. It might not happen. I doubt it, that it might not. But it might happen. No need to go back. There's plenty of opportunity for you to be heartbroken in the future.
Yo, how should I feel about that? Yo?
Don't even worry about the past.
Let me leave alone the past. Let me leave the past alone.
Leave the past alone. There's plenty of opportunity in the future.
Let me save myself the pain. Yo. Anyway, life is tough.
Lucky bastard. You have not experienced heartbreak at 24?
Yo.
I think that's a good place to end. Because what do you even mean? Let's end that conversation there. Because
you cannot believe it.
I cannot believe.
Yo. Anyway, they say it heartbreak just locates you. It will soon locate you.
Anyway,
Well,
lucky you.
Hey.
I usually hear that when they come later in life, they are that much more difficult, but no premonitions for you.
Hey.
I can't say I don't pray you get heartbroken, because some of the most significant relationship things I've learned about relationships have come from me, from heartbreak. I think just because I think just God finds it important for me to learn that way.
Hey.
We will have a conversation. I'm like, God, able tell me why? Mimi unanifunzanga through heartbreak. Tell me why.
Well, yo. Ama niko na rongo. I don't. Yo.
Anyway, but it just goes to show how different our experiences can be. At 25, I feel like I've experienced enough heartbreaks to last me a lifetime. Thank you so much, Juma, for coming on. I truly, deeply appreciate you for being here, sharing your thoughts, your experiences, and for the wisdom that you have shared.